Here is the thing that caused everything to start. Subtitle M. K, the meteor the size of Mount Everest. It's unknown where it broke off from and how it came, but the address it chose is Earth. You are about to witness one of the most important days in history. We are going back millions of years in our time, to the extinction that ended the Cretaceous period and started the Tertiary period, to the Doomsday of the Dinosaurs. In the sky, continents continued to break apart rapidly and slowly took on a form close to their present appearance. This period was the golden age of the dinosaurs. The subtitles and description of the cartoon music were added by TRT Children and the Voice Description Association. Subtitle MK, a time period when not even a single nail was hammered into the world, completely natural. 5 million years before the Great Disaster, the volcanoes on Earth began to become much more active. And as a result, the air became too polluted to breathe due to the volcanic gases formed around the volcano. Plants were badly affected by the dark and dust-covered sky as well as the acid rain. Many dinosaurs lost their lives due to these adverse effects. And yet, many species in the dinosaur family managed to survive, only for a short while. 65 million years ago, Doomsday. Here's what would be the beginning of the end for the dinosaurs. We are approaching Earth. 40 times the speed of sound, capable of traveling from the moon to Earth in roughly 2 hours. It only takes 2 seconds for the meteor to pass through the atmosphere and hit the Earth. The impact initially creates an incredible light, brightness on the Earth, as if the sun has descended to the Earth. The intensity of the explosion is about 1 billion times greater than the atomic bomb dropped on Nagasaki. Subtitles by Eam. Huge tsunamis are forming after the jump. Thank you for watching the 0.93 miles high. It also carries the rocks underneath for miles away. It is known that the meteor fell on the Yucatan Peninsula of today's Mexico, and all the living things that were there in the first seconds instantly evaporate. In order to better understand the impact caused by the explosion, if the explosion were to occur at the same point today, it would vaporize those in Texas. Those a bit further away, it would deafen those in New York and shatter the windows of homes in Argentina. The collision was so violent that if you were on the other side of the world, you would experience a major shake about 30 seconds later. So it was a day of unimaginable horror. Seconds after the explosion, a cloud of 70 billion tons of pulverized rock and ash began to envelop the world like a blanket, at a speed of approximately 1,000 miles per hour. Along with this, balls of fire and sparks began to scatter around. Some died from the pressure, some from the gases that emerged, and some by burning. For the dinosaurs that were farther away or lucky, death was postponed a bit more. But much harder days were waiting for them. The dust and sulfuric acid from the collision completely darkened the sky. The Earth was covered with a cloud of dust. As a result, the global temperature dropped approximately 26 degrees at once. Without light, plant species that couldn't photosynthesize went extinct. With the breakdown of the food chain, most of the dinosaurs died of starvation after a while. But besides all this, the freezing weather was a disaster in itself for them. A nuclear winter had occurred. To put it briefly, the first part started with a small portion of the dinosaurs dying off immediately after the meteor entered the atmosphere due to vaporization. The second part was the emergence of fireballs, poisonous gases, and forest fires. However, this did not cause the extinction of these species. Some dinosaurs survived the disaster. The third part, which is starvation and freezing cold, caused the extinction of all species. Dinosaurs became history 65 million years ago. So where are the traces of that celestial body that wiped out the dinosaurs on Earth? This place, now called the Chicxulub crater, is located in today's Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. This crater, which is 111.85 miles in diameter, is thought to be 12.4 miles deep underground. The crater was discovered by geophysicists Antonio Camargo and Glenn Penfield, who were searching for oil in the Yucatan Peninsula in the late 1970s. Glenn didn't notice anything unusual while flying over Mexico, but thanks to the underground imaging techniques he used, he noticed something interesting later on. A massive crater, but the crater had been buried over time. It probably fell into the ocean. Of course, to verify this, rock samples were taken from the area, and it was seen that a high energy was compressed in the rock. Moreover, a large amount of the element iridium was found in the area, an element commonly found in meteors. When the data was examined, the crater was confirmed. After years of conspiracy theories, the crater was finally found. The Chicxulub crater caused the dinosaur extinction. When looking at its view underground, it can be seen that it covers part of the half island. A team at National Aeronautics and Space Administration wanting to recreate the explosion that happened that day is measuring the effects of the meteor in order to learn more. First, the falling speed of the meteor is approximately set. In order to see the impact of the meteor, an environment similar to the Earth's surface is being prepared, and the explosion is initiated. The impact resulting from the collision is incredibly large. When considering its actual dimensions, it becomes clear why the explosion was so violent. After the explosion, creatures that were hiding or living underground are ruling the world. The catastrophe of the dinosaurs becomes their miracle. For all the dinosaurs that saw or couldn't see the explosion that day, it was the apocalypse. Even though they are dead, their fossil remains are slowly emerging. In the next video, we will look at what happened after the extinction of the dinosaurs, the incredible fossil remains, their traces in the world, and how they were found. To the traces of the world's old owners,